Welcome to Ultimate Sensei, a chess coaching competition unlike any other. Over the next several weeks, 4 of the world's best trainers will work with 8 hungry students, ready to do whatever it takes to improve their game. Who will work the hardest to improve? Whose methods will prove supreme? And who will become the ultimate sensei?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the conclusion of the Ultimate Sensei Season 2 Tactics Challenge. I know it's been several weeks, but maybe this is a good chance for me to explain why it's been several weeks and just, provide some information about what's been going on with the program and the show and the season. We had 2 players withdraw, which was a surprise and kind of unprecedented for us. Not something that we dealt with in the first season and not something that we had really planned for. So it was unfortunate for the people who had to withdraw. It was unfortunate for our organization of the event. And both players who withdrew were on Team Sasha. So it was Blue Jay and Lula Robs. And they have been replaced with Eric Rangau, who you've already seen participate in the Endgame Challenge by now, and then another player, Dai, who you have yet to meet, but who will be participating on January 8th. That's our next special event challenge this coming Saturday, and will be participating in the finals and is Eric's new teammate. And maybe at some point today we'll have a minute to ask Eric if he's met his teammate, or what's it like to start partway through the season, or any of that kind of stuff. We can, if we have a chance, and Eric's feeling good about his tactics performance, we might ask him a question or two. But that's sort of what's happened with the teams. So Team Sasha has been completely shuffled up. The other 3 teams are the same because Eric was jumping in mid-season and replacing Blue Jay and needing a moment to meet his coach and have a couple lessons, and he had to do the Endgame Challenge right away. I didn't want to throw the tactics final at him immediately, but he's taking Blue Jay's place in this final, and I can show you again the scores from the Tactics Challenge. You can see that right before withdrawing, Blue Jay had an incredible score in that Tactics Challenge, 61 points over 2 rounds, which was just crazy. And there were 2 players who had crazy scores. The other was Chess Numbers. So now we'll welcome Chess Numbers and Eric to the studio here. Greetings and welcome. And so Eric is taking over in the finals in place of Blue Jay. And Chess Numbers, you had a remarkable score in that Tactics Challenge. It's been a couple weeks. Tell me how you feel about the score you put there. Are you surprised by your score, or did you feel like you had a great performance that day?
I feel like I should have done better, actually. I went back and watched the video. Round 2, I'm happy with. Round 2 was really, really, really hard. And just the fact that I got anything. I submitted my answers without being completely sure there was a single correct one in there. Turned out there were several, and that was very happy. But in the first round, I missed problems 1 and 2, which were actually the easiest. Mm-hmm. I gave those ones too much credit, I think, is what happened, looking back at it. So I think I actually could have scored up to about 26 points if I had gotten those 2 right. And they were in my wheelhouse if I'm in the right frame of mind for them. So, Yeah, I kind of wish I had done better in the first round.
Yeah. So much of it is about whether there's an answer, whether you think it's hard or easy, how much you second guess, how much time you spend on it. So you feel like you actually got the easiest problems wrong and then a lot of the hard problems correct.
Yeah, I overthought the easy ones for sure, which is interesting given the format today. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I don't do that.
Yes. Well, we are going to start out with theoretically the easiest problems. So let me launch into the rules here for everybody. This is going to be a shootout style competition between these two, similar to what was used in Ultimate Sensei Season 1 for its tactics challenge, but less unwieldy with 2 players for the final than all the matches we went through last year. So the players are going to be given a series of tactics, and the tactic will go to one player, for example, to chess numbers. So they'll have the first opportunity to solve it or not solve it. And then after, if he solves it successfully, we give a puzzle to Rangao. If he does not solve it correctly, then Rangao has a chance to steal. And the place where you win this competition is by stealing 4 tactics from the other player. And the first person to steal 4 tactics will win. Also, in the interest of time, if somehow this goes past 30 minutes, we will then switch it to first person to steal 3 puzzles instead of 4, to keep it maybe somewhat under control as far as the length and all that. We've got a very funny question from the audience. Chaim is saying that Chess by the Numbers ought to be giving us a prediction on who's going to win the tactics competition.
Oh, snap.
I think it's pretty close to 50-50. I've actually done enough tactics with Eric in the past that I know we're awfully evenly matched. If I hadn't done one extra puzzle today, we would be coming into this with literally identical puzzle ratings on chess.com. But I did get that last one of the day right, so I'm coming in with an edge.
Okay. Well, he gave Chaim a better answer than Chaim probably anticipated. He's run the numbers. He knows exactly where their tactics ratings stand. I guess we shouldn't be surprised that he knows the numbers, huh, Eric?
Not surprised, no.
No. Do you like numbers yourself?
I do like numbers. As you know, I am a mathematics PhD student, so I do.
Yeah. But a lot of times, like, math people are like, oh, numbers, that's not real math. Most of you haven't even started real math. You're just like, counting on your hands.
I think I like that type of stuff more than a lot of those real math people do.
Okay.
I still get a kick out of counting stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a random thing I love. I love when you look at like patterns in numbers. Like if you look at like all multiples of 9 have these like characteristics, right? If you take like long strings of numbers that are like multiples of 9 or like 19 or stuff like that, which is basically like modular, like basic modular math, I guess. It's just like, it's like a function of it being base 10. And then I like doing the same thing with like base 8 or base 6 and just seeing the patterns of like the numbers lining up.
That's cool. I like that stuff too.
Yeah.
It was actually like I was taking this class this semester and there were quite a few times that chess came up. It was a combinatorics class. And we talked about this certain thing called like a Delanoy number. But anyways, it pretty much, you can kind of model it with how a king moves. Because it's either like you move up or to the right or you can move diagonal. Mm-hmm. So like counting the paths you can take, you can almost like then translate to like, how many ways can you move the king from E1 to E8 where you're only going up?
Oh, right.
So it's like kind of cool. And I get a kick out of that.
Right. Combinatorics, counting the paths for the king. That sounds fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
if you're
man.
a nerd, yeah.
Maybe I go do that while you guys are solving your tactic.
Go nerds.
I'll start with like the king going to E4 before I go to E8. Just work my way up.
Sounds good.
All right. So let's see. Any other rules I have to let people know? They are going to have a set amount of time for the puzzles, and as the puzzles get harder, the amount of time per puzzle will get harder. So we're starting out with 14 to 1600 in puzzles. Now that is sort of like the rating range of this season, but the chess.com tactics, people's ratings tend to be a couple hundred points higher than their rapid ratings. So I expect the 14 to 1600 puzzles are possible to do in a minute for these guys. We'll go test that hypothesis. And every every time we go past 2 players twice, so sort of every 4 puzzles or so, we'll be bumping up the difficulty level by 200 points, and occasionally I'll be adding time to the timer, so it'll be 2 minutes and then 3 minutes, etc., for solving the puzzles. Okay. Eric, what is your tactics rating to give people a sense of what we're talking about here?
I think it's 25-37, but I don't really do them on there. And I used to just do them all like blitz speed,
Right.
Not taking it all that serious.
But there's a pretty good chance we'll get past 2,000 at some point today before we start getting lots of steals.
I hope so.
All right. Cool. All right. So let me set this here. We're going to go to custom. $1,400 to $1,600, all themes. And so Eric, you're taking the place of Blue Jay, who was first in the previous competition. So you will get the tiny, tiny, tiny advantage that chess numbers will go first.
Sounds good.
So you're truly sitting in Blue Jay's seat here. So chess numbers, I am ready to start the first puzzle and the first clock. So here we go.
Bishop b5.
Okay. Hang on, I'm fixing my view of the clock. All right, I'll go play bishop b5 for you.
Queen e6.
Queen e6. Okay. And don't worry, I know I stole 20 of your seconds. If you needed more time, I would have given you more time. I'll iron out the clock in a second here. It just moved as soon as I started it, and then the viewers couldn't see the time ticking. Okay. So I'm going to reset the clock and serve up another puzzle for Eric.
Move. We also can't see the timer, right, David?
Right.
Okay.
You have half of your minute left.
Okay. Do-do-do-do. I'll go king h4.
Okay.
Unexpected moves.
Don't worry about that. All right, keep going.
Bishop f3. That's wrong.
Okay. All right.
I got surprised.
Yeah, you got
Those
surprised by that
surprise
move.
moves are what get me on this particular tactics trainer consistently.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to restart the timer and the puzzle.
Do I get the full minute now? I actually missed that piece of the rules.
Yeah, you know, we didn't go over that piece of the rules. I think it'd be more fair to get like half the time rather than the whole time over. So if you guys are both okay with that, we'll use half the time for steals. So if it's 1 minute, 30 seconds, if it's 2 minutes, 1 minute, etc.
Sounds good.
Fair.
All right. Cool. You are now at 30 seconds.
Queen g5.
I missed mate and one. No.
Now, this one's surprisingly hard for this range, but I think it's bishop f5. And I'll take that queen.
Okay. I am definitely surprised by the difficulty of the puzzles so far.
Before the original tactics challenge, I did some practice in this range, and that was definitely on the very, very hard edge.
Yeah.
Very, very hard edge of this range.
All right. Here comes the next puzzle to you, chess numbers.
Remembering the range, I'm going to stop overthinking it and play queen takes d2. And rook takes d2.
Okay. Would you guys like announcements at like 30 seconds and 10 seconds, or you just have a sense of the time?
I have no sense of the time and would very much appreciate those announcements.
Okay.
30 and 10 would be
I'll just make
perfect.
some quiet little updates when you use like half and a quarter of your, or a half and 3/4 of your time.
Yeah, I heard the beeping and I'm like, oh no.
All right. Here we go. Number 4. $30.
'Knight c8. F takes g4.
Great. All right. So now I'm going to reset puzzles and increase the rating range to 1600 to 1800. And I will try setting my timer to 1:30, 1 minute, 30 seconds. So the next 4 puzzles, 2 to each of you, not counting any possible steals. The next 4 puzzles will be in the 1600 to 18 range, all themes, 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. Here we go. The first one to chess numbers. Forty-five seconds.
G6.
What was that?
Knight g6. Knight f4. Rook h3. Rook h4.
Bravo. All right. Here comes the next one.
There's something I don't see here.
"45 seconds."
Well, I'll just gonna play queen takes queen. I don't know what's going on here. And then, am I gonna get mated? Let's play king f7. Fucking Christ.
All right.
95
So I'm going to give you 45.
is the trick there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give you 45 seconds, Ty.
Jeez Louise. This is terrible, man.
Pretty sure king f8 is fine.
Yeah.
Rook takes rook. King takes queen.
Nice moves.
Oh, I got my work cut out for me, Ty.
Ooh.
Oh, well.
The live odds are currently higher than 50%, I would say, for any that I can pull this off. But it's far from guaranteed. I can also assure everyone of that.
I'm going to get some orange juice, you know.
All right. The next puzzle is to you, Ty. You will have 1.5 minutes.
Queen d5. Bishop d4.
Okay, just a note, you're at 45 seconds.
And queen takes a8.
All right. Next puzzle to you, Eric. 1.5 minutes. "45 seconds." "22.5 seconds."
Queen h8. Queen takes e5. Queen takes rook.
Very good. I'm now going to increase the rating range again. We're going to go up to 1,800 to 2,000 puzzles. Still all themes. And the clock is going to go up to 2 minutes now. We'll start. the puzzle for you, chess numbers. One minute. Thirty seconds.
Queen takes e3.
15 seconds.
H takes g6. Knight f3. And queen d2.
All right. Okay, John. Knight g6 was a surprise. All right. The next puzzle goes to Eric. 2 minutes.
I think we can just do that. It's a shame I can't just talk the whole time, because then I just tell Ty all my ideas.
I'll allow it.
I know. I will double check my answers, because this is already embarrassing enough.
One minute.
I don't see what else to. Let's play rook ac5 and play b5 and play. Right? Why can't I do that? Play rook takes rook.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Rook takes rook.
All right. Good job. All right. Now, was that the fourth one? We're moving up again?
No.
No?
Looks like 2.
2. All right. We'll continue then. Tie to you. 2 minutes. 1 minute. Thirty seconds.
Queen E3.
All right, I'm going to switch the timer to 1 minute for a chance to steal. I'll restart the problem.
This is good for me.
30
The pressure
seconds.
is really helpful. Queen F2. Queen G3. Queen B8.
That
I
is
never
a
spot
successful
Queen F2
steal.
as a candidate. I was deciding between two wrong moves.
All right, the last puzzle in the 1800 to 2000 section is for you, Rengo. You have 2 minutes.
Yippee. Let's see if we can mate this guy. Holy smokes. I didn't see I was in check. That's hilarious.
1 minute.
Well, King A3. King takes rook. Oh, shit.
All right.
Man. Like right after I said it, you know?
Yeah, every time.
1 minute to you, chess numbers.
That's really funny.
I didn't have all of it. It's definitely King B4 here.
Oh, my stars.
King B5.
This is great.
It ends there. Okay.
Oh, you're so lucky it ends there.
We just renegade rookie up.
You could definitely keep trying to give that rook away.
Oh, yeah.
Than that.
I guess you go hide on D5 or something.
Yeah,
Well-
I was gonna go to C6 on either check.
Mm-hmm. Like rook A5, king C6, rook takes knight.
Yeah, after rook takes knight, it's like at some point you give away so much material dodging the stalemate, you lose.
Yeah.
You know?
I have no idea why the puzzle ends there. Maybe to keep it from being a 3,000 rated puzzle. All right.
Well, probably because there's two equally good moves
At some point in the branch,
and
yeah.
after whatever move it wants to do with black allows two equally good options, and they have no mechanism for that.
I totally missed the whole idea. I spent the first minute like not even realizing I was in check.
All right.
For some reason, stalemate puzzles are a lot easier to spot when you're trying to force stalemate, not when you're trying to avoid it. That was a cute little puzzle.
All right, so we're going to 2 minutes and 30 seconds and 2,000 to 2,200 range. Chess numbers, you're at game point or match point here with 3 out of 4 points. And the first puzzle is to you. One and a half minutes. $45 seconds. $22.5. $11.25. Five seconds. All right.
I don't have it.
Ranga, you're going to have 1 minute and 15 seconds to try to steal this one.
Okay.
$30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't have this one. All the stuff I want to do doesn't work.
It won't hurt you to guess since he can't steal from your steal. You have 15 seconds.
Okay, Queen F7.
Okay. There we go.
What was the answer, David?
Free roll. The answer is rook takes F7.
Really? And on queen check?
Rook takes f7.
Oh, and then the rook can come back on queen check with the discovery.
If the queen checks you, you can block with discovered check and take the queen. If actually, I might be able to play the moves out on the board here.
Yeah,
so that's one option, right? The other option is black takes the rook. You take with your queen, and black plays king h7. And then you have a forced mate, but it's pretty long. I don't think that many people were able to calculate the forced mate from there. Oh, but I think bishop f7 is a shorter forced mate, and that's what Latte found. But rook f7, queen f7, king h7, as I was saying, you have queen f5 check. You force the king back to h8, go queen f8, king h7, now bishop g8, king g6, queen f7, king g5, queen f5, king h4, and then g3.
Very nice.
Of course.
All right.
Wow.
Let's see if anyone can get a puzzle right at this 2,000 plus level. The next one is for you, Rango. Oh, wait, sorry, I have to set your clock. And then the next one.
I mean, I score like 80% on this puzzle range when I'm just doing it for at home.
Will be for you.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballpark when I'm sitting by myself. Okay.
$130.
Okay.
One minute.
Why is this higher rated?
$30 seconds.
Oh, that's why. Okay, rook b1. Oh no, really?
It's rook e6 first. Because rook b1, king a6, rook e6, and the rook can block defended by the pawn, but rook e6 first.
Good game.
Good game. And then rook a1 and rook b1, and you win the rook. And I'm pretty sure it will truncate on rook b7.
Ay, ay, ay. Congratulations.
Good game.
All right, lives up to his performance in the first 2 rounds of the Tactics Challenge. Chess Numbers is now the champion of our Tactics Challenge. Congratulations, Ty.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, while we have you guys here, let me just check in with you guys, if you don't mind, how things are going. Eric, have you met your coach yet? Have you met your teammate yet?
I have met my coach, and I've had a couple lessons. And I actually met my teammate sort of today.
Okay.
I became friends with them on Discord, and I watched their stream for a little bit. I didn't know they streamed.
Okay. Yeah.
That was cool. I got to chat with them a little bit while they played some Rapid.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it, pretty brief.
Okay. Cool. So this coming Saturday, I'll announce the format for Saturday's event for everybody and then ask you each a question about it in advance. This coming Saturday is going to be a double event, 2 different events in one. The first part is going to be the 8 students are going to each present a small lesson to you, all the viewers out there. So they will have 10 minutes to give a lesson. I will gently grade the quality of the lesson to determine where to give prize money. By the way, Chess Numbers has just earned $300 for Team Matt, and Rangau has just earned $200 for Team Sasha. So there will be, again, $300, $200, $100 this coming Saturday in prizes for the teams. So they will each give a lesson, and then the second thing they will do is they will play a 2-game match against one other participant. And when we get to the finals later in January, you will be placed on opposite sides of the bracket from your teammate. So it is possible to play your teammate in the final tournament, but basically not until round 3, I believe. Certainly not in round 1. So like if you both won your first 2 matches, you could end up playing your teammate in the finals. Or if you lost your first 2 matches, but you'll start off playing someone from a different team. And have you guys seen who you're playing in this sort of exhibition match this coming Saturday?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. Let's see. Did either of you want to play a blitz tournament more than you wanted to play an exhibition match? You would have rather played a blitz tournament? Mm-hmm.
I would have.
Yeah.
Blitz sounded fun.
Yeah, blitz sounded fun.
As the now minted winner of the Tactics Challenge, I would have preferred a blitz tournament.
Uh-huh.
I had also been practicing a fair amount of 3-2. I'd never played that time control in my life, so I was kind of getting into that. But I'm cool with either way, This sounds nice too.
Mm-hmm. How much do you guys feel that nerves have been a factor in the first couple events of Ultimate Sensei Season 2? I guess we can start with you, Eric, and then go to Chess Numbers.
I mean, for me personally, I think it plays a huge part. Mm-hmm. I think it's like one of my things that I need to work on as a player.
Okay.
Because this today I think is a great example. Like a lot of these were just being flustered, and I can solve these problems like in a vacuum. But when it's in a competition situation, it's a different story for me.
Mm-hmm. And you, Chess Numbers, do you feel like nerves have been a factor in your performance or your opponent's performances in the Endgame Challenge or the Tactics Challenge?
For sure. I'd say we started seeing it with the death of every rook in the draft tournament, right?
Okay.
I think that was obviously about nerves. I don't think we aren't players who drop pieces that regularly without nerves playing a role. The tactics, first 2 rounds, maybe less so because you put it in test format. It was an extremely intense, but with an hour to work through problems and sort of as a written test, that was different. Nerves play a role, but it's something else. It's whether or not you test well. If someone had test anxiety, that one probably was triggered nerves for them. Mm-hmm. If someone likes written tests, generally speaking, that one was probably more okay, which is the category I'm in. But then the endgame challenge, nerves crushed me. I started out, I should have won my first matchup, and then I just blundered it away. And that put me behind the curve. And after that blunder, I never bounced back. And every successive loss, the pressure got more and more intense and was definitely affecting my performance all the way through the rest of it. Even for another week, I couldn't even study properly for a good week after that.
Mm-hmm. Did Seth, did you try to like when, because you had a couple moments to talk with your teammate during the course of that tournament, did Seth try to like help you calm down at all, or was there just nothing to be done on that day?
I mean, talking with Seth helped certainly, but I don't know. That was just a weird spiral. Once I got behind it and then started dropping point after point, it just snowballed. And I made, a lot of weird mistakes that, looking at them objectively, I wouldn't normally do that, would I? And to some extent, yes, there's a reason we're in our rating range, but to some extent it was nerves for sure.
Mm-hmm. And Eric, you don't need to go into any details that you don't want to reveal to your competitors in this event, but is there something you're doing to work on nerves? Is there any preparation you have in mind for these kind of competitions?
No, there's nothing I'm working on actively.
Okay.
I honestly don't know what there is to do other than just get more experience playing higher stakes things.
Mm-hmm.
So, no.
Okay. Well, your sensei's been watching this competition. Maybe she'll be able to help you on that before the finals, or even before this Saturday's exhibition match.
That'd be cool.
Great. Well, thank you both for participating in this. It definitely, my perspective, and the reason I'm asking you about nerves is that as I was watching you guys work on these puzzles, it felt to me like you guys were radiating nerves, like double checking, second guessing when you think you see something. So
it was a challenging combination of puzzle set and rule set, because I know from experience doing a lot of the chess.com tactic trainer puzzles that they have an inordinate amount compared to other puzzle sets I've done of tricky, unexpected responses on the second or third move. Mm-hmm. So when even if I was pretty sure I had it, like trying to figure out, but what weird thing is it going to throw at me that I didn't see coming, since we didn't get a new 2 minutes there. Yeah. And that is something, this puzzle set has a lot of those surprise moves, and I know that, and I was very afraid of those surprise moves coming back to bite me.
Yeah.
So it's a tough puzzle set to use with the rules.
Eric, I thought I saw you make an adjustment in that department, which was, at first it looked like you were trying to predict all the moves ahead and like use your entire, let's say 1 minute or 2 minutes to like look for every possible defense and predict how you're going to beat it. And then you got to that puzzle where you have to like double rooks on the C file and try and like win the knight that's pinned on the C file. And you actually saved some time and played rook C5 sooner, and then saved some time on the clock so you could deal with a surprise move that might come up later. Was I right to sort of see that?
I mean, that one is like, I wanted to play rook A C5 in a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
I guess I'm used to trying to solve positions in completion. Like the last tactics book I worked out of was the woodpecker one, where you're supposed to like look at this position and find all the critical lines. Yeah. And so I've been doing things in a slower format where I have to find everything. So I'm not used to just kind of playing one move at a time. But that seems like maybe a better strategy if you're sure you can actually solve the puzzle. Mm-hmm. So on that one, I was pretty certain it was rook c5. And then I'm like, well, let's see what happens. But yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thank you both. I'm going to let you go here, and viewers, you can stick around because I'm going to do an hour or so of my own training right now. So yeah, thanks again, Eric. Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.
Take care, and we'll see you
Till
again on Saturday.